Hey, welcome back to Math Quest. All right, so today I want to show you how to use point slope form to write an equation. This is useful when they just give you one ordered pair and the slope, or they simply give you two ordered pairs and you have to find the slope and then, of course, use this formula. So as you can see right here, I've already written it here for you. Y minus y1 equals m, which is our slope, times x minus x1. Go ahead and write that down. Remember, it's always good practice to take notes so that you'll remember it later. In case you forget some pieces, you can always refer back to your notes and always refer back to this video. All right, let's get started. In this particular one, notice I've written the ordered pair here that they want us to use, which is -2 and 3, and they've given us the slope. So this is going to avoid one step, which is us finding the slope using the slope formula. Within this point slope form, I hope you can see we have a y and then we have a y1. Here we have an x and then we have an x1. The ones we're going to use are the y1 and the x1. We're going to plug these in out of our ordered pair. Okay, so we have a -2 and a 3. So the -2 is my y value, my x value. Let's go ahead and write these in here in case you don't know yet. These are always my x and y. All right, so let's go ahead and plug them in. It will look like this: y minus y1, which would be my 3, equals the slope. In this case, they gave it to me, so I'm going to put it in there, times x minus x1, which happens to be a -2. Okay? So this is what we have here. I know that right there looks a little crazy, so let's go ahead and clean it up a bit. And I don't know. I didn't really like this one, so let's use a different color. Sorry. Oh, stop it. I'm just using red. So we have y minus 3 equals 4 times x plus 2. That's really what we have in that mess, right? So now let's go ahead and begin to solve. We have y minus 3 equals, remember to always use the distributive property here in this case. So I'm going to multiply the 4 times both of these, and I get 4x plus 8. Now, to begin solving, well, I've already started solving. Right here, I'm going to add, remember, because I want I want y to be by itself, so I'm going to get everything away from y. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So right here, I have y equals 4x plus 11. At this point, if you can see, I have, oops, I dropped my pen. As you can see, I have written this equation of this particular line. So basically what they're telling us is, hey, you have a line, and in this particular line, you have this ordered pair, which is -2 and 3, and the slope of the line happens to be 4. So they're saying, what is the equation of this line? And the equation of this line is y equals 4x plus 1. All right, does it make sense? All right, let's do one more, and we'll call it a day here. All right, so on this particular one, notice we have an ordered pair, right? So this is about as complicated as they get. They want you to write an equation of this particular line that goes through these two ordered pairs, which happen to be 8, 1 and -2, 9. So in this first case, write it down. First step, find the slope. So we're going to use the slope formula. In case you don't remember what that is, go ahead and write this down. That would be y2 minus y1 all divided by x2 minus x1. So let's go ahead and plug in our values. Now, this is my first order pair, so this is my x1 and my y1. This is my second order pair, so this is my x2 and y2. All right, so we're going to plug them in. And it's always, if you're just learning this, it's always good practice just to label them, such as x1, y1, and then x2, y2. right? Because in the beginning, it can be confusing, all right? So let's go plug this in. I'm going to use a different color so it doesn't confuse me. So notice, I need my y2 and subtract my y1. So that's the 9 minus the 1. So write them in here, 9 minus 1. And then on the bottom, I need my second x subtracted by my first x. So my second x is the negative 2. And I'm going to subtract my first x, which happens to be an 8. So now all I have to do is solve this. 8 minus 1, excuse me, I'm already solving it. 9 minus 1 is 8. And then we have negative 2 minus 8. Always just plug these into your calculator if you're not good with integers. And you can always change them to addition problems as well. So as you can see, that's going to be a negative 10. Always. There's nothing on here that's going to tell you to simplify. You need to know by now you always write it in simplest terms. So we're going to divide both top and bottom by 2. That's going to give me a 4 over 5. Okay, so we have 4 over 5, and of course that's going to be negative because we have a negative 10 here. So great, I found my slope. 4 over 5, and of course negative 4 over 5. All right, so now that I have my slope and I cut out the negative sign. Anyway, couldn't fit it in there. Let's move on. Okay, now we want to use that other formula we used previously, right? Which is my y minus my y1 equals my slope times x minus my x1. It's always good practice to write it out so that you can plug them in one by one. So let's do this. Let me grab a different color. Go back to orange. So we got y minus my y1. Now in this case, I'm going to go ahead, excuse me, right here. This is my ordered pair. Both of these, I can use either one. I'm going to use the first one since they're both positive. So the first here, 8 is my x, my 1 is my y1. So I'm going to put a 1 there. Then it wants my slope, which is negative 4 over 5 times x minus my x1, which happens to be 8. Let me get some space here. So now that I have everything plugged in, now I begin to solve. The first thing I need to do is use the distributive property here. So we have y minus 1 equals negative 4 over 5x. And then it's going to be plus, because right here we're going to distribute the negative 4/5 and multiply it times a negative 8. That's going to give us a positive. So at this point we have a 32 over 5. All right, so that's what we have there as our value once we solve, once we distribute, multiplying here and multiplying here. All right, so now last step is we're going to add a 1. So we're going to add this 1. Remember, we want y by itself, so we're going to add 1 to both sides. Remember to always add, ooh, my pen was going crazy, sorry about that. Remember to always, remember that you want y by itself, so you want to get rid of that. And not to add the 1 to this right here. This is a coefficient, this is a constant, and this is a constant. So we want to combine the constants together, okay? So right here, if you're not good with the fractions here, this might throw you off. Here, adding the 1 to the 32/5. Remember, to make a whole number here, it would be 5 over 5 because my denominator is 5. So technically, I'm going to add 5 to the top, if that makes sense. So that's going to give me here a y equals negative 4/5 x plus 37 over 5. Right there, I can leave it like that. I've written my equation in slope-intercept form, and that's all I need to write my equation of this line that has the ordered pairs. Where were they? 8 and 1 and negative 2 and 9. All right, hopefully this makes sense to you. one of the common questions is that I get is, can we write this as a decimal? I don't have a problem writing that as a decimal for students that write that as a decimal, because you can just put it into the calculator and do that, and it seems to make more sense for kids. So if it makes sense to you to write it as decimal, I'm fine with it. Ask your teacher, I would say, if you're doing this for a math class yourself. All right, so hopefully that makes sense to you, and if you got value out of this, please hit the like and subscribe button, and always come back for more. I'll try to keep this as short and simple as possible for you. All right, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time on Math Quest. Goodbye.